We're here with Paul Eglinton
Yes.
of Grass Valley, and we're talking about recently introduced in-camera grading
Yes,
capabilities.
creative grading. So what we've had for many years is nearly 20 years is a control panel to control the cameras. And since that panel was designed 20 years ago, many different things have changed. 4K, HDR, all these new functions. And this is actually the case for all manufacturers now. Even the current controls from other people, all the new controls we use aren't available very easily. They're buried deep in a menu somewhere. And in the case, for instance, for HDR, well, normal iris control and black level control is very little used. What we have is a lot of other controls which we need tactile to do all at the same time. So what we've created is a new panel that you can customize yourself. So normally on this joystick you have black level and iris, and that's it. But we've added another ring here, a ring here, a ring here, and this knob. And you can customize them to do any function you want. So in a menu here, you can have different pages of functions. So we could have this for HDR functions, and now these do HDR functions. And quickly we can get a nice HDR picture and set it up without going through lots of different menus and different buttons and just going, what am I doing? You can tactilely adjust it. Once you've done that and you're happy with that look, I can then take a snapshot of that image and send it to the other camera. So all the setup, all the work I've done on this one camera can then be copied across to other cameras.
Okay.
Saving a lot of time.
Saving a lot of time. It can be saved for later use?
Yes, infinite amounts.
So same sort of event,
yes,
that type of thing?
Yes, absolutely. These panels at the moment are prototype panels. We've kept the design release to the last minute, so everything we wanted was put in there. All the feedback we've got has been added to the production model, which comes out in a couple of months' time.
Okay.
We've also added lots of other functionality, especially for young operators. They don't have the history of how a camera works, how it's developed, like us older people. So what we've added is more buttons which are more graphical and mean something to more Photoshop type styles and things like that.
Okay, so I see obviously brightness, colour, the zoom, is it?
Yes, no. Well, they're like detail type functions, enhancements, automatics. So everything we push follows on the iPad menu. It takes us to all those controls that are available. So if we go into the colour corrector, we've now got a graphical way of setting colour corrector rather than just some numbers that meant nothing. If we go to the knee functions, we actually get a graph of how we adjust the knee. So we're actually seeing what we're doing rather than just looking at a picture. We've got this, and then as I switch through other cameras, I can see that the knee values are set exactly correctly, not just some number value that means nothing at all. We've also added extra controls up here, again because we need more and more controls. We've got a ring here that turns, another one here, and also a push button. So these three menus give us, we can customise them to what we want. So for instance, I've made this bottom one the filter.
Okay.
Before that was a menu, filter, now it's an instant control. I could make that gain, I could make that saturation, anything I want. And again, I could say, for HDR, I've got this page, that's how I do HDR. For this one, this is set up for 4K. This one might be set up just for normal HD. And once I've built the custom, I just copy it across to all the other cameras.
Fantastic.
So there's one more feature that's really handy, is we can actually look at the light path of what we're producing through the camera. So for instance, we start off here. First thing is the range extender on the camera. If I switch it in, we can see we've lost light because we've had another piece of glass, and we've also see it switched on. If we were to have a large lens on the camera, we could actually take this extender out as well. Next is the iris. So we can see that we've still got iris capable. Once you hit the top, you know you've got none left. And if it was down too low, you're going to see underexposed. Next we go to filters. If I put some ND in, all of a sudden I've got a savage drop, and I can see it's now red, I'm underexposed. But I can see why, because I've got too many ND filters in. I take them out. Next one is exposure, which is shutter. And then as you can see, I've got a bit of a lift here now on the display, which is because we're running some high sensitivity to give us a little bit more sensitivity, and I can see I've actually boosted it a little bit. But if I was to take that out, I can now see a clean light path right through the camera chain, so I'm having the cleanest, noise-free, efficient picture there is. So, just with a glance. So the normal way to use the system is to have this iPad maybe in front of 3 or 4 cameras sitting on top, and we assign those 4 cameras to that iPad. This operator has his own, and maybe a TD has this one, and maybe in the background can just make some little adjustments if he wants. So it does create a much more powerful instant tool, like compared with the old style of having an OCP. So it's sort of a mixture of post-production grading and live at the same time. It gives you a lot of power.
Okay, and none of which has triggered that audio.
Oh, really?
No. Yeah, anyway, so, well, thanks very much.
No worries.
All right.
Thank you.